Hi everyone, my name is Wayne Saint-Amand and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Visual IQ. On behalf of the entire Visual IQ team, it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's webinar. Before we begin, I've got a little bit of housekeeping. I want to let you know that we'll be recording the webinar and making it available to everyone who registered. Also, we'll be taking your questions during a Q&A session at the end, but you can submit them at any time using the webinar interface. So please do send them in as you think of them. Also, keep an eye out because we'll be emailing you a short survey following the webinar. So please do take a moment and share your feedback with us. It's important. Okay, it's time to get started. I'm excited because we have a really hot topic for you today. We'll be giving you an overview of marketing intelligence and discuss the important role it plays in helping you deliver people-based marketing. We'll also be sharing some of the requirements you'll need to keep in mind if marketing intelligence or people-based marketing are on your short list. Okay, so let's jump right into the presentation. So in terms of what we will cover today, I think it's any of you in marketing who are familiar with Simon Sinek. He's famous for his always start with why presentation. So I think it's important to start our presentation with why. Why is this important? What are our motivators? We'll then proceed into covering, what's changing about marketing? What are these next generation marketing requirements? We'll then move on to 4 key challenges of people-based marketing, and then on to marketing intelligence, what it is and how it helps. So let's proceed with the why. So what is our motivating force as marketers? And I think we can all agree that as marketers, we are driven to connect our best performing marketing with the people that matter most. I'm going to say that one more time. Driven to connect our best performing marketing with the people that matter most. The interesting thing about this statement is that despite advancements in technology, many of us marketers and advertisers struggle with this concept. Despite the linearity that digital marketing has provided in terms of measurement and analysis, it has created a ton of new challenges around data and channels, and has actually made the problem much more complex. So let's unpack that a little bit. We know that this challenge has definitely shifted the marketing landscape. We also know that consumers interact with your brand across a dizzying number of channels, right? Touch points, devices, and they expect a coordinated and personalized experience. But these incredibly highly soaring consumer expectations have definitely disrupted traditional marketing in a major way. We see 3 major forces having a substantial impact on the marketing landscape. So let me sort of build these out. If we think about the one over here on the left, convergence of ad tech and martech, it's not so much that the workflow and that the technology platforms are actually merging from a technology standpoint, but the idea that they're converging to drive unified experiences for the consumer is absolutely true. Why? Because we need to focus on identifying individual consumers, and that's where this middle segment comes about, the rise of people-based marketing. If you aren't targeting and identifying individual consumers that make up audiences and audience segments, it's hard to create relevant, personalized experiences for them as a marketer. And then over here on the far right, the idea of combining audience and attribution. Measuring cross-channel performance by audience segment is so important because audiences and the individuals that make them up are what really matter, right? You're trying to find your best performing marketing and connecting that marketing with the audiences that matter most. And it's not just us, obviously, who feels this way. I mean, you can see in that lower right-hand corner Luma Partners, Gartner, eMarketer, they're all publishing lots of data and reports that indicate that these three major trends are things marketers are facing every day. So let's continue the discussion. Obviously, as marketers and advertisers, we've probably all considered the journey that consumers take as they progress toward a given goal that we have for them as marketers. They tend to experience multiple media touch points leading up to, again, a specific KPI, which could be an online conversion, an offline conversion, brand engagement goal, etc. It could be any one of dozens of things. It's important as you consider this chart, as you think about this chart, that there are touch points on this chart that we call addressable. In other words, you know for a fact that a user has been exposed to it. Many digital techniques obviously fall into this addressable category. Others are what we might refer to as non-addressable media, like TV, radio, print, outdoor. So understanding what's working and how to assemble the correct mix of tactics in a world with digital, cross-device, offline components, this is one of the biggest challenges that marketers now face. And they need the kind of marketing intelligence that reduces the complexity of this puzzle. And of course, as marketers, we think about this incredibly detailed journey and the complexity of this journey. But from a consumer perspective, consumers don't envision themselves engaged in a customer journey. They don't care about how you've set up your marketing automation workflow, what you're willing to pay for a retargeting ad, that you have a robust affiliate network, or that you use social analytics to monitor their comment. At the end of the day, all they want, literally all they want, is they want you to act like you understand them. And that understanding is really the heart of identifying them as individuals, a la people-based marketing, and the audiences that those individuals aggregate up to, and creating that highly controlled, relevant experience where your highest performance marketing is going to hit the people that matter most to you. This stat, I found particularly compelling. So more than half, 56%, of consumers say they feel more loyal to brands who get them and show a deep understanding of their priorities and preferences. So consumers are simply seeking products and services that meet their needs, and they want their buying experiences to be relevant. They want them to be convenient. They want them to be friction-free. They want you to know them, and they want you to earn their loyalty. So a people-based marketing approach enabled by marketing intelligence makes this possible. So as we discover and as we talk about people-based marketing and the drive towards people-based marketing, this is obviously an incredibly hot topic. And we know it's a hot topic because it's important for us to understand our consumer, whether they be a current customer or a prospect, better than we ever have before. Despite the fragmentation in the market, despite the fact that we're trying to hit them through both addressable and non-addressable media across these channels, online, offline, it's an incredibly complicated world. And the challenge of communicating with people, marketing to people through paid, owned, and earned channels is higher than ever. So this drive to really know and understand individual consumers has definitely led to the rise of people-based marketing approaches. And while we believe this is absolutely the right way to think about marketing and advertising, there are definitely several challenges and requirements that you have to keep in mind as you formulate your own strategy. So let's go through some of those challenges. I think this quote here is pretty telling. The average brand marketer uses more than 12 unique tools on a regular basis, and some use more than 31 per campaign. This is an incredibly telling statistic. Obviously marketing as a function has become an increasingly technology-driven discipline. while each system creates more audience and performance data than can be used to inform and advance marketing and advertising efforts, most of these technologies operate as standalone systems. This forces us as marketers to think in terms of executional silos, right? Social, direct mail, email, display, search, lots of others, instead of through the lens of the consumer, which is what people-based marketing is all about. So if you can't get an accurate and holistic view of customers and prospects as they traverse these multiple channels and these touch points, then you can't accurately measure the value of each of these experiences or how well you're moving them towards your success criteria. And we know if you can't measure it, you absolutely can't improve it. And again, you can't discover your best marketing and you can't discover those audience segments to connect your best marketing to those folks that matter. So extraordinarily important. Challenge number 2 for people-based marketing, understanding consumer attributes and behaviors. Again, without a comprehensive view here, marketers can't create specific audience segments to deliver those tailored experiences and meet unique consumer preferences. We know consumers want this from us. They want to understand that we know them and that our efforts are being biased by that knowledge so that what we send them is relevant. The experience, the journey that they go through is made more relevant by our efforts, right? So we need that 360-degree view. However, those unique identifiers are fragmented across systems, which makes things incredibly challenging. So winning over today's fickle consumers requires knowing who your customers and prospects are, what they like, how they behave, elements like this. Most of marketing and advertising technologies you use today aren't just siloed, they also generate their own unique identifiers, unique IDs for each individual user. So for example, a UID created by a customer relationship management system, a CRM system, might be identified as a loyal, high-end customer. A separate UID created by a third-party data provider for the same individual might reveal this person is female, age 35 to 50, possibly having an intent to purchase. Now, while these UIDs provide valuable insight into consumer attributes and behavior, they're stored separately and they're unique to each system. This makes it incredibly difficult to get a true 360-degree view of your prospects and your customers. And it's so important. I really want you to understand that without this comprehensive view, you cannot create specific high-value audience segments that you can use to target or to deliver the tailored messages and experiences to meet their unique needs and preferences, which again is at the heart of people-based marketing. So critical to keep these things in mind. Okay, our third key challenge, so deduplicating customers and prospects across devices. So we know that increased usage across devices is further adding to the complexity of this problem, right? I mean, look at these stats. 25% of consumers use 3 devices daily. I personally think this is light. I think as marketers we use even more devices, but the survey data here shows us a quarter of consumers use 3 devices daily. And complicating it further, almost 80% of consumers switch those devices mid-activity. This is mind-numbingly complicated for the marketer to sort of keep track of this, make sense of it, and make sure that, again, that the data stream is harnessable, is usable to drive your people-based marketing strategy. When we think about cookies crumble on mobile devices. We need a different approach. So when individuals can't be mapped across their various devices, problems arise. We know this. Not only does the consumer experience become disjointed, but the paths to conversion end up getting siloed by device, reach gets inflated, and your ability to target customers and prospects at every stage of their journey is compromised. Again, Keeping this in mind as you're driving towards people-based marketing is absolutely vital. Let's move on to our fourth challenge, managing online and offline success criteria. So as we said earlier, consumers don't often distinguish between online and offline, right? They don't care how their exposure to media or marketing influence their conversion activity. They just want a seamless experience from their mobile device to the desktop to an in-store visit, et cetera, et cetera. Yet, marketers like us on the line right now, we struggle to correlate online activity with point-of-sale purchases, in-store sales, other offline conversions, especially when pre-sale offline engagements can quickly add up to dozens or even hundreds or beyond of interactions. So without the ability to bridge the gap between the digital world and the physical world, it's nearly impossible to optimize your marketing and advertising tactics to drive different online and offline KPIs, or to effectively manage the total consumer experience, again, which is absolutely the name of the game with regard to people-based marketing. So these fundamental hurdles need to be addressed if we as marketers want to truly embrace people-based marketing strategies that ultimately will improve the consumer experience and increase the impact of your marketing and advertising activities. Okay, now that we've gone through some of the challenges, let's talk about some requirements. What are the requirements to drive people-based marketing? Well, it's absolutely critical that we understand consumers and the performance of your campaigns. Let me go ahead and build this out. So obviously the game has changed. It's changed completely. To be successful, we marketers need to target individuals in the real world. There's obviously been a number of point solutions that have evolved, right, to attempt to achieve this vision, but they operate in silos, requiring marketers to connect all of the dots within impossibly large data sets. And these point solutions tend to lack the comprehensive insight required to meet these requirements associated with people-based marketing. We as marketers need the ability to combine the profile data that we have about customers and prospects, things like who they are, what they're like, what they want, where they are, with marketing performance data, the experience component, the creative, the offer, the imagery, return on ad spend, cost per acquisition, frequency, cross-channel reach, things like this, to provide a consolidated view of the customer and every marketing interaction leading up to a particular success criteria, whether that be engagement, conversion, an in-store visit, the list can go on and on. So when you combine the power of audience with attribution in a single real-time view, and real-time is critical here, you can then understand consumer attributes and how different audiences interact with your brand across channels and devices. And almost more importantly, you can optimize budgets and create the types of relevant and personalized experiences to drive meaningful business results. And this then becomes an incredibly powerful enabler of super efficient, high performance, people-based marketing, which again is the name of the game. This is what we're driving towards. And meeting these requirements is absolutely critical. So after all of that, as we think about all of these requirements, these challenges, and the data challenges associated with marketing intelligence, it's very clear that we have a lot of catching up to do. Look at this stat, just 6% of marketers worldwide say they have an adequate single view of customers or prospects across all devices and touch points. Yet 90% cite it as a top priority. So again, we have a lot of catching up to do. The good news here is that with the right marketing intelligence solution, you can make incredibly big progress against this goal. It is possible to get there. So let's talk a little bit about marketing intelligence. How do we define it? There's no question that it is about bringing clarity to chaos. I think that the situations that we've, or the scenarios that we've described in prior sections, earlier sections of the presentation, give you an indication that it is chaotic, right? There's such a large number of systems, silos, data sets, channels, KPIs to worry about, that there has to be a way in a centralized, real-time view to get a handle on this information and treat consumers the way that they want to be treated throughout that experience, to drive the idea of people-based marketing, which is, again, what that is all about. Let's talk a little bit about the need for intelligence and unifying that consumer understanding and the idea of tactical performance measurement. So marketing intelligence gives you a unified view into both prospects and customers. It really enables you to sort of find and target the audiences that are most relevant to you. It enables you how to understand how consumers interact with your brand across channels and devices. It allows you to measure your marketing and advertising performance based on the unique profiles of your customers and prospects. And it should allow you to optimize media budgets and those consumer experiences to deliver meaningful business results, all in one real-time view. Real-time, the actionability and real-time sense of this data in one view is absolutely critical, because your marketing is real-time. Digital is real-time. As we optimize and understand, we're doing that in a on a real-time basis. So actionability and the models that drive your marketing intelligence, they have to be real-time, because you're a real-time marketer. We all are. Your tools have to be real-time as well. So what is the challenge for brands? Marketers need the ability to combine the profile data they have about their customers and prospects, things like who they are, what they're like, what they want, where they are, with marketing performance data, right? The creative, the offer, the imagery, return on ad spend, cost per acquisition, things like this, to provide a consolidated view of the consumer and every marketing interaction leading up to a given success criteria, whatever that might be. So we're just obviously reinforcing points that we've made a little bit in the past, but the idea here is that in one view, you can measure the performance of your marketing and media, not just media spend, but your marketing, your paid, your owned, and your earned. Combine that with understanding consumer attributes and preferences, track consumers across devices, right? Mobile, digital, television, both addressable and non-addressable types, and account for different success criteria, right? Brand engagement, things like in-store sales, online conversions, could be any number of things here as KPIs. And the idea here is that when brands understand consumer attributes and how different audiences interact with their brand across channels and across devices, they can optimize budgets and create relevant experiences to drive meaningful business results. And the important thing here is, to be successful, you require real-time marketing intelligence. And marketing intelligence is the sum of these things that we've described. But having it be, again, highly actionable and real-time is critical for matching your activities to the customer experience and that journey that they're on, and making sure that you as a marketer are responsive enough, can be responsive enough to alter things and optimize things as you go. So how do we drive real-time people-based marketing performance? Well, we do it obviously with marketing intelligence, and this will be the one slightly commercial message in the webinar. If we think about the Visual IQ platform, it is a single platform that allows you to analyze consumer behavior and marketing performance across all channels and devices. It brings it together. And it's looking at these 6 dynamics, right? Audience performance, consumer experience orchestration, budget optimization, predictive insight and activation, digital and physical performance analysis, and even your marketing mix modeling integration for sort of a top-down view. Finally, if we sort of sum up the idea of marketing intelligence, this is all about combining the power of audience with attribution in a single view. And that's what gives you marketing intelligence. This powerful combination can let you understand consumer attributes and how different audiences interact with your brand across channels and devices. And if you do this, you'll be able to optimize budgets and create the types of relevant, personalized consumer experiences that drive the business results that we as marketers are all looking for. And that nets us out to this, we come back to this idea. Really, what marketing intelligence does, if you do it right, is it allows us to connect our best performing marketing with the people that matter most. Best performing, well, that's about attribution and optimization, right? And the people that matter most, well, those are your audiences. Those are the individuals that make up your audiences. And the power of connecting those two can help you deliver on the idea of people-based marketing, which is so critical for the way that we as marketers need to engage consumers. Whether you're B2B or B2C, it does not matter. The game has changed. And part of that game changing is that this stuff needs to happen in real time. You need a real-time view of this information, of this intelligence, in order to have, the heaviest impact, on your KPIs. This webinar was obviously a quick touch on this topic. We would encourage you, if you haven't already, to download our ebook, People-Based Marketing Intelligence for a New Age. Just go to visualiq.com/download center. This ebook, as well as a lot of other content, videos, other webinars, other written content, it's all available to you there at the download center, and it's great educational material. So with that, we will move on to the Q&A portion. Let's go ahead and see if we have any questions. Just as a reminder, while we're waiting for questions to come in, you can submit just using the little questions tab. And I do want to remind you that we will be, if you've registered for this webinar, we will be sending you a recording that you can watch on demand after this. And then, of course, we'll also be sending you a survey, and we would appreciate if you would fill that out as well. Okay, we've got a few questions. I think we probably have time for about 5 or 6 questions, so let's get right to them. Okay, let's see here. This question comes in from John. John asks, the market is already flooded with a slew of tools for marketers. Isn't this just adding yet another tool to marketers' already daunting technology stack? Well, John, yes, there are a lot of tools out there in the MarTech stack and the AdTech stack, and obviously a marketing intelligence platform is yet another tool. But the point that we really tried to make is that if you use marketing intelligence in the right way, if you work with a vendor who has thought about this problem in a way that really helps marketers meet their goals, right? And if we assume that their goal is to reach the right audiences with the best performing marketing that they have, and again, drive that idea of people-based marketing, then the marketing intelligence platform of choice is going to be that single tool that pulls together all of those silos, all of those disparate points of data, and makes them truly actionable for you. That turns that data into information in a unified, real-time fashion that lets you be a better marketer. And that's our position with regard to this. Okay, let's see. Another question. This one comes in from Samantha. So Samantha asks, who within the marketing organization would use a marketing intelligence platform? You know, it's a great question. You know, when we engage with customers, we are often talking to multiple layers within the marketing organization. Oftentimes the conversation starts with the CMO, because the CMO is interested in helping his or her team make good decisions with regard to investments, optimizing investments, understanding who their audiences are, more importantly, who their most productive audiences are. So, you know, the CMO is often in that chain, but it's often because we touch addressable and non-addressable media, there are lots of people inside the marketing organization, people who are managing the spend of media that is non-digital, folks who are managing digital media spend. So it literally can be dozens of people that can use this platform within a large enterprise marketing organization, and even in mid-market type companies. You know, with smaller teams, it's often whoever is responsible for digital marketing that will get involved in this, and then of course whoever leads marketing and marketing strategy. You know, a marketing intelligence platform is key to driving successful, high-performance, well-targeted marketing efforts that influence, you know, the entire customer experience as they're on their journey, right? So anybody that is involved in that touches that is a potential user, is somebody that would really deeply care about the result set that comes from a marketing intelligence platform. All right, let's just see here. So one of the questions is there somewhere we can get, and I'm sorry, this one comes from Mario, is there somewhere we can get more information on how Visual IQ can help address some of these challenges? Absolutely, Mario. You can just go to visualiq.com, and you know, there is a tremendous amount of information. You know, one way to sort of take a shortcut is to just go to that resources tab and take a look at that section. There are case studies there. There are ebooks, including the ebook that served as the inspiration for this particular webinar. There are videos, lots of information that can help you better understand the idea of marketing intelligence, what it does, and ultimately how powerful it can be for your organization. Okay, let's take a quick look at some of the other questions that have come in. Okay, this question has come in from Thomas, and Thomas asks, can you share some examples of the insights a user can extract from marketing intelligence that's unavailable today? So there are a lot of things from a marketing intelligence standpoint, a lot of questions that marketing intelligence can help you answer. You know, for example, how am I reaching my customers and prospects, and are they responding differently to my marketing tactics? That's a big one. You know, what is the most effective experience to show my customers and prospects across channels and devices? So as you're thinking about that journey, what are the program elements that are going to have them experience that journey in the way that's most productive and most relevant for them and for you as a marketer and a business? How can I coordinate consumer experiences across channels and devices? Marketing intelligence can help you answer that question. Which emails, affiliates, videos, display placements, search keywords are working best for different audience segments? Again, marketing intelligence applied properly can do this, and can do this in real time with that audience segment bias. So often as marketers, we start out with the tactics, and the audience is sort of a byproduct of the tactics. What if you could start with the audience and the knowledge of audience, and then apply the tactics? What if you had the intelligence to sort of flip that on its ear? Well, you can, and that's what's possible now. One of the other things, again, that marketing intelligence can do if properly implemented, within that single view platform, is it can help you predict your optimal marketing performance before attempting to make those modifications in the real world. And this predictive capability is obviously incredibly powerful. Marketing is famous for using money to test, right? Test campaigns, but in that testing, there's a lot of waste. What if you could reduce that waste? If you're an advertiser and you have a large media budget, you can literally reduce spend, create efficiency that saves you millions of dollars a year on your performance and increases the performance of your media spend. I can't think of anything more powerful than that as a marketer. Okay, I think we probably have time for about one more question here. Let me just sort of sort through. Okay, there have been a few questions here that have come through that are similar. This question comes from Zaid, and he's asking, and a few have asked something similar here. Who would we reach out to in order to get an overview of the offering itself? And I know I've been a little bit like a broken record here, but if you go to our website, right on the homepage, you can request a demo. And there's a sort of a green request of a demo button on multiple pages of the website. If you click that button and share just a little bit of information with us about what you're interested in, one of our team members will get back to you right away and schedule a demo so that you can see elements of the platform in action and really understand how this powerful combination of audience and attribution coming together into this powerful view that creates marketing intelligence in a real-time actionable fashion can really start to get to work for you and work for you in a way that drives your goals. Okay, and I believe with that, we've run out of time, and we will be ending the webinar. Again, on behalf of everyone here at Visual IQ, we really appreciate the time that you spent with us today to go through this topic. We hope that it's been helpful for you to understand the benefits of applying a people-based marketing strategy and how marketing intelligence can be one of the most powerful enablers in delivering on that strategy and creating a high-performance marketing effort that responds in real time and drives your KPIs as a marketer. So thanks again, and keep a lookout in your email. There will be more webinars, and we'd love to invite you to additional ones. Again, thanks again, everyone, and we'll speak with you soon. Bye-bye.